From a little cover, I got my dreams in sight. Wrestling on the mat, I go and put up a fight. With every hold and slam, I rise to the peak. Now as Professor Bear, it's my strength that they see. Roaring with knowledge like a lion so proud. In this wrestling world, I'm standing out loud. I'm Professor Bear, got the passion to spare. Wrestling's my life, with the power to share. From the roots to ropes, in the spotlight we gleam. Chasing victory dreams, living out the theme. Now my WOSN, my squad.
Beginnings on the cusp. Not too old to adjust. Old dog, new tricks. Remember, I was just a pup. Something dirty in my cup. Clean soul.
With my forest crew, we'll always ride. In the wrestling world, one just claim the prize.
Welcome, and thank you for joining me this evening. I am Professor Bear, and this is A Bear's Thoughts. Guys, girls, we have been just running like madmen, getting to talk to so many great promoters and owners and bookers. This has been a tremendous month, and I am so glad that I decided to do this to help a lot of casual fans learn a little bit about the insides of having your own promotion. It's not as glamorous as you think, and it's definitely more work than you could really see. You have to be immersed in it and willing to give 110%. So I am very glad that we get to give these men and women a spotlight and give them their flowers because they truly deserve it. With that being said, I want to introduce my guest. My guest is Sleazy. He is the owner of Natural State Rasslin. And what I love, two things just off the top of my head, and I have to be honest because I'm always am. I love he didn't put the standard wrestling, he put wrestling. That just has a special place in my heart. I'm not gonna lie. And the second thing is, let me pull up their logo. That is one hell of a logo. I love it. It pops and it stands out. This is his first time hearing me tell him this.
Thanks.
And it's amazing.
All props goes to my good friend Lucas Tubbs. He does all of our art, and he's done both of our logos, a lot of our flyers and stuff. I wish I could take credit. One thing that I've never been able to do is graphic design. Maybe I can edit a video or two together, but I can't do the graphic design. And when it comes to the wrestling, we're from Arkansas, and that's just kind of how people say here, and people think about professional wrestling a certain way when they say, "Oh, you watch wrestling?"
As I tell people all the time, wrestling, indie wrestling is like going to a family reunion. You never met anybody in that place, but by the time you leave, you feel like family because you're cutting up, having a great time. And then when you keep going and miss a show, when you go back, man, you okay? We were worried about you. Something
Yep.
ain't right when you ain't here. So that is that great atmosphere that I love about indie wrestling.
Yeah, me too. And that's something I like to think that we bring to every Natural State Wrestling show. We do different types of, genres of wrestling, if you will. We have different age shows and stuff like that, but it's always the same kind of family atmosphere, and that because that's just that's the way I relate to it. So
Before we dive deep into it, I want to, and y'all already see the logo. Again, if you go look it up, again, wrestling is worldwide, but unfortunately, a lot of times names are so similar, if not exactly the same. So that's why I wanted you to see the logo. So you know, oh, excuse me, when you see it, you know you got the right company. And if you're anything like me, you always appreciate a hand. So I made that QR code for these young kids who don't want to do research. I want
don't want to copy anything.
I want you to be able to scan them and go and get to their YouTube page directly so you can look at all the tremendous action that they do as a company. Now, well, I'm gonna have to start different. I'm gonna have to, because generally I have a first question I always ask. I will ask it secondly. I got to know, how the hell did you come up with the name Sleepy E?
I was given that name by a friend of mine in high school, a good pal of mine, Austin Pry. He's my gym buddy, my one of my best friends, and we grew up doing stunts. Before I could get into the wrestling, we were filming jackass stunts and stuff like that. So I've always been doing some wild things, and me and him, we got some stories between us. And one day I told him something, and I'm glad I probably don't remember what I said, but he looked at me and said, instead of Easy E, man, we got to call you Sleazy E. And said it one time, and it's funny because it didn't really catch on for a little while. But then after high school, one of the friends brought it back up, and it was kind of my rap name. And then I started announcing, and I never really thought of a gimmick. That was kind of a issue when it came to like my dream of being a professional wrestler. Is like, what kind of name? Like, you try and think of like a real name, like a Jimmy Toe or something like that, whatever.
Right.
I couldn't think of a name, so Sleazy E became Elijah Dobbs turned up to 10. So, and I spell it differently, SLEEZYE.
I love it. Love it. So how the question I always ask is, how did you become a wrestling fan?
Well, really, I don't remember a time when I wasn't a wrestling fan. When it comes down, I wasn't really into sports, and uh, yeah, I pretty much have always just enjoyed wrestling. I would say, 90 the Attitude Era, got me hooked as a young kid, but I can't really name a time when wrestling wasn't like the most important thing in my life. So
I definitely understand that.
yeah, absolutely.
So, how did you translate from just being a fan to getting into the wrestling business?
Well, like you said, when you go to the independent shows, you run into people, and you build friendships and relationships, and those people become your family at that building, and I went to my first independent show, and that opened my eyes completely. Like, I had no idea about that. I thought it was WWF, WCW,
Yeah.
went to one of those. I said, oh, and that just kind of like cracked open my brain. And I think I started going there whenever I was about 10 or something. They ran about 3 years in my hometown of Newport, Arkansas, WFAC, Wrestling for a Cause. And I went to like they ran every Friday. And my first big name that I saw was and it completely changed the game for me, especially because how kind he was. But the Big Boss Man was there one night, and I saw the Big Boss Man in person, and I said, okay, I'm like close to this thing, and I'm gonna have to like dive in. And I actually started filming some videos. One of the first videos I ever edited was uploaded to MySpace around 2007 for a wrestler named Deadly Dale. I was probably like 12 or something, 12, 13, and I met him, but I couldn't train till I was 18, and then after that, it's just been a long, wacky road, pretty much. But that's how I got into it. Went to my first independent show, and I said, "Oh yeah, dude, I'm gonna get into this somehow."
So with that, you determined to get into it, and you finally get into it. Where did becoming a wrestler and owning your own promotion, how did that come about?
That was truly a pipe dream. It's always a cool thought to like. Now I ran a benefit actually for my friend that gave me the name Sleazy E. We had a benefit show for him. He passed away from cancer, unfortunately, but we did a benefit for him. And now we had the commission then, and so it was a different story. I had to use someone else's license. I mean, I booked the show and got the place and rented the thing and did the stuff. But my buddy Craig Stone at MACW helped me out with his license. But that was in my early 20s, and so that was like 10 years ago, a little bit over 10 years ago. And so then I guess technically I started running shows out of necessity because I started doing no ring shows. The first was like one no ring match, and after that I just kept doing stuff. And we for a while it wasn't even like named Natural State Rasslin. I think I ran like 6 or 7 shows or something before we even like named it that. It was just Sleazy Wrestling or Sleazeball Promotions or whatever until because I just the whole idea of like giving it a name and doing that whole thing is like, oh, I was like but then it just slowly grew, and I knew like, oh well, I saw the fruits of the labor, and I really appreciated being able to help certain things grow in our area that may not particularly be, plentiful here in Arkansas. So, yeah, technically necessity, but now it's just what I do, I guess. And also, I was wrestling, and I got to a point to where like my mind wanted to wrestle. My body was just giving me all kinds of different problems, all kinds of different signs. And so like I was stepping away from the ring for the most part. And like I refereed and announced for like 10 years. So like I'm no stranger to doing like other jobs. But at that point it was just I don't know, it was a necessity to start promoting and get as much out of me as possible when it comes to wrestling.
That's definitely that's a different approach and feel from a lot of guys I've talked to.
Mm-hmm.
What was the thing that said, you know what, this is natural state wrestling?
Because like I said, we ran a few shows, and I think one of my main issues was like, so we do a bunch of different types of shows. We do like no ring wrestling, which usually tends to be a little bit more of the violent, a little bit more adult type shows. We do festivals in small towns, so we do very family friendly shows, like but it's still our flavor. So I think at the beginning my issue was balancing that line, I guess, because like, oh well, if you're doing this, other people aren't going to want to work with you, or you're not going to be able to do this if you do that. But
Right.
I just did not accept that. And because even if we have our different types of events, if you show up to them, it's still like the same respect, the same acceptance, the same show. And it's cool because I feel like we can keep the same flavor, at least some type of consistent flavor throughout all these different types of shows. And so I think the natural state, and a lot, if you watch a lot of our shows, just like our background right here, it's trees and stuff like that. A lot of our shows are outdoors. So between
Okay.
people saying wrestling, Natural State Rasslin was just it was just right there. And like you said, you were wanting, when it comes to your name, a lot of names run together, and a lot of things look alike, and so it's just want to stand out as much as possible.
And again, I think the first time uh, I seen your logo and saw y'all, the first thing, of course, went through my mind was like, well, damn, this is different.
Thank you.
And it was like, man, I have to see what they're all about, because if their logo's different, is their name's different, how different is their wrestling? And I truly say that y'all have great action.
Thank
It's times I get caught up in watching stuff, because I'm a type of wrestling fan. I try to be very different and be give everybody a chance.
you. Hmm.
So a lot of times I'm okay, I got to do this. I'm going through, okay, let me see about this for a second. Second turns into 10 minutes, 10 minutes turn into 30. I'm like, oh shit. I've okay, I was supposed to do this and got so caught up that, and I love when I do, because that means the action has to be good. That means you're doing something right to make me put off everything else I need to do.
Yeah, that's a great sign to know. Like whenever when time starts to slip away, something's good, even if you can't put your finger on it.
Oh yeah. So tell me about your championships.
We have one championship, and it's our no ring, no rules championship. I'm in the works of got a new one on the way. I'm getting a new one produced, and we're rebranding it. So we started the no ring stuff at a place in North Little Rock called Dedicated Visual Art Studio. My friend Jose does a bunch of work there, and he has a big yard and a little stage that he has bands play on. And so I did the first no ring match there, and that's just kind of our home. And so uh, Dedicated is kind of synergistic or whatever. Like it's just it goes along with us. So I'm naming it the Natural State Rasslin Dedicated No Ring No Rules Championship, and our current champion is the Texas Terrifier Baracho, formerly known as Avon Axel, and he won it this past May 2025, at our 2-day tournament there in Cord, Arkansas, at a heavy metal festival. And so it was a hard fought battle. He won that championship. He's defended it in multiple states now, and he's obviously defended it here in Arkansas. And so here in May, we'll be back 1 year anniversary at the Heathen House. And so it'll be his 1 year anniversary of holding the championship. So as of right now, that's our head solo champion. Eventually, maybe we'll get a maybe like a heavyweight championship for in ring type stuff. But we're doing quite a bit in ring, and also in ring. I like to have the opportunity to possibly have different types of championship matches on my cards for different promotions, because we may have like a main kind of circle that's on a lot of our shows, but like really it's a varying circus. And so like it's not like how most promotions have a set roster and things like that. So I like to build the the no ring for Natural State Rasslin. And if we can have a championship match in the ring, that'd be cool too. But as of right now, yeah, that is our one champion.
You said something that immediately caught my attention of joint working with other promotions. I know there are some promotions out there that will feel like it's a hindrance to work with other promotions. Where did the understanding and being able to work with other companies come from?
And as someone who has I'm still just like with any position in wrestling, man. We're always gonna like keep learning, but like I'm still as green as can be when it comes to being a promoter. And luckily, I have some natural instincts that help me with that, and being a lifelong wrestling fan, and just studying the whole thing.
Right.
But sometimes it's not beneficial whatsoever to work with another promotion. Sometimes it could hurt you, and sometimes it could be a really negative experience. So like I get why some people feel that way, and I can even see it to a point to where not collaborating in a non-negative way. It's just if it's non-beneficial really for either, or it's just slightly, and you're putting that much effort when that attention could be or should be somewhere else maybe. But for me personally, I just got a great appreciation for all the different promotions, and I'm pretty easy to get along with for the most part. But as a wrestling fan, that's something that brings me in. And it doesn't even have to be like a big invasion thing, like just simply a simple showcase match. I think something like that is really unique and cool on a card. So to be able to do that, I think is positive enough for me. And honestly, if anybody ever reached out, I am always down with any type of collaboration. I'll go above and beyond if we both agree that we're both all in on something. But yeah. And just scratch this back, scratch that back, scratch my back type thing. So yeah.
I think myself, I think it's great when companies can work together.
Yeah.
And you make it beneficial for both, to help highlight another wrestling company. Of course, you run the risk of losing some of your audience, but I think the benefit is that your audience get to see new talent. You don't have to overly kill your workers to have great shows. Then you're getting a friendly base where you can possibly work in their area without any muss fuss, all kinds of different drama. So and in the end, hell, it's all wrestling. So why wouldn't you?
See, and that's like the biggest issue is like sometimes collaborating can simply just be coexisting, because at the end of the day, because some people will say to me, like, well, that would be like, someone else running a no ring show in Arkansas or whatever, because we're kind of like the main folks who do it here, but like it's other places. And like for me, I want as much wrestling. Like if you want to do it, go ahead. Like if someone is being specifically harmful with the way they're booking their show to like hurt someone else's show, I think what's done in the dark is going to come to the light, and people are just going to notice you're kind of a shithead, and I think you're gonna lose folks. But yeah, I'm not sure. I think I might have rolled off on that one, but yeah, I just think coexisting. There we go.
Yeah.
As much of it as possible, and some people, they do the opposite of collaborating. They're trying to like take folks down. And you know what? Some shows don't have great production. Some shows don't have great wrestlers, and some shows aren't the best. But it's all wrestling. It's all wrestling, and everybody's always been there. Now, if it's a show that has drama or they're treating people poorly, that's all going to come out, and that's on them. That's their life. But like, we love wrestling, so we're going to put love into wrestling, and like whatever else can do its thing.
Right. And I like that. Again, you only can control what you can control.
Exactly.
So
I agree.
If you had the opportunity right now, you could book 2 people. Don't matter what company, doesn't matter what their contract state is. They say you got 2 people you could choose from. One is alive, one is dead. Who would those 2 people be, and why?
Well, I'm going to go ahead and go with dead and say I'd resurrect Terry Funk in a heartbeat. And, well, Terry Funk is, in my opinion, the greatest professional wrestler that's ever lived. And I think he embodies what a professional wrestler is. And he's my personal favorite. So to have Terry Funk on a show, that would be tremendous. See, now whenever I'm thinking about who's alive, like who am I trying to get before they've probably hung them up, maybe,
Yeah.
I would book Mickey Knuckles. That's who it is.
Really?
Yes. And hopefully that'll happen this year. But my honest answer, it would be that. It's a hopefully realistic one. But when it comes down to it, I like to just, if it's something I enjoy in wrestling, and I enjoy all kinds of different wrestling, yeah, I'm gonna go with it. And some folks can get with it, some folks can't.
Hey. And I guess the reason why I was like really with Nikki Knuckles is she is possibly the queen of hardcore.
Oh yeah.
Sure. I would be afraid. Look, I'm 6'4", 300 pounds easily.
Mm-hmm.
People tell me I'm an intimidating man.
Yeah, you're not worried about someone punking you out. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, most people.
Yeah.
Mickey Knuckles, I don't want no part of that. None. Look, she got something wrong with her. I'm just saying. And I mean, as respectfully as possible, something's wrong with that woman.
And that's the best part about her, and it's on display for all to see, and that's the goal. be just bleeding authentic who you are, and I think that's what she's all about.
I could imagine me trying to punch her, and she just looks at me like, "That's it. That's all you got."
And you
I'll be like,
and
"Oh hell
you
no!"
done gave her a good one too. Yeah, no, yeah, for sure. For sure, like there's no way, and like as a wrestler, I would be honored, but I would say no, thank you. I am I am I will ref the match.
Look, I don't even want to ref because she might flip out on me, have a zebra flashback when she was young. No, no.
I've saw her do some weird stuff to some referees. I've refed a match one time of hers, but luckily there's another referee, my pal Andrew, and he got some stuff done to him that we won't talk about. But
And since we're talking about her, I if I had if I could play, well, if I had a chance to book a fantasy match, two people I would want to see her wrestle. One is Abdullah the Butcher.
oh my gosh, yeah, that
They
would
would they would be all over the freaking place.
that yeah. I just pictured them just pop spawning in different parts of the building because they're just all over.
Exactly. And the other one is Bruiser Brody.
Oh, and the thing, as tough as Bruiser Brody is forever will be remembered. I have no doubt that she could go toe to toe, like
Oh yeah.
unless she was conscious, but then she'd just wake up.
And I can see it. I can truly see it. Just he would put her out and he'd just go on, try to go in the back to have a beer, and then all of a sudden she would come up behind him and start.
Head bandaged up and everything.
Oh my God. Uh,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you that resonates so good.
Yes, yes. I mean, again, I tell people that my wrestling knowledge is pretty good, and I I'm not in one zone because some people know, oh well, they're great WWE people. They know it inside now. Then there's some who are great world class or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the type of wrestling fan that I know a little of everything. It may not be the greatest, but I can have a conversation long enough to keep everybody entertained.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh wow, you actually know about that.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm the same way. Like you can hold your own with just about any type of, and it's funny because like we were saying, wrestling's wrestling, but man, wrestling's so big and there's so many different arenas and areas of it and stuff like that. And when it comes to the fandom, people, it's just like music or movies. There's all kinds of different genres and different fans and subgenres. So yeah, there's never really been a type of wrestling that I've just looked away from or just considered like blasphemy almost. Like wrestling can almost be anything, I mean, there are some wrestling things that are technically possibly blasphemy, but I mean blasphemy in the wrestling sense.
Right. No, I definitely get it. Because even I'm not the greatest fan of WoW wrestling. But I respect it.
Mm-hmm.
I just think they lean too hard on the demeanor of women, even though WWE don't do them enough justice.
Mm-hmm.
It bothers me for the fact of they are performers.
100%.
Bottom line, and I feel like you don't have to have to have them be so sexualized.
Yeah, yeah. See, then that's a whole nother conversation. Like, yeah. When something is turned perverse, and like you, I mean, if you're fucking weird enough, you could probably do it to just about anything. And I know that there's and I ain't gonna kink shame on anybody, but when it comes down, there's there's certain things for certain folks for a certain reason, and but that doesn't mean that you should take every single thing and try and make it like that. That is a that's a I think that's a form of assault.
Yeah. Like when they had the Royal Rumble, and I was excited for the women's, and they're like, why? I'm like, because they're covered up. Now let's enjoy what they do, which is being an athlete.
Mm-hmm.
And not the weird looks you're doing. And again, I'm not faulting anyone, but it's just it gets tiring that women are disrespected in that manner.
Yeah, no, not in like not only disrespected, but then like you said, when they have to put the bodysuit on, then people are forced to see their talent. Number one, they should see it in the first place. But like number two, those people are going to complain because they're not getting to see what they want to see. And truthfully, when it comes, I'm sure you saw some pretty serious Japanese women's wrestling.
Oh hell yeah.
When
Love it.
it comes down to those Japanese women wrestlers, there's not a single force or group of wrestling folk that is tougher or more combative. So when someone can't take a woman serious in professional wrestling, that's I will discredit your ass pretty quick.
Yeah, definitely. Um, if someone asks you to describe what your promotion is, how would you do that?
I would describe it as a unique. The word I use this word quite. It's a buffet of professional wrestling. If you sit through a show, maybe not everything's for you, but I'm going to have something for everybody. If you come out to the show, there's going to be something for everybody. It's it's DIY. It's like do it yourself, grassroots type situation, in my opinion, and unpredictable. In a nutshell, that's what I would say.
I This is something that I tell people all the time as a wrestling fan and as somewhat of a reporter to a certain extent.
Mm-hmm. No, you're definitely a reporter. Your
I
work
Go ahead.
is very important, man.
I appreciate that.
And you do a lot. I know we talked a little bit before we came on about your run through, but you're dude, seriously, reporting, journalism, promotion, nothing means anything if we don't have that stuff behind it. So, and as a promoter, I know what all those different hats mean. So, reporter, journalist, whatever hat you want to wear, you for sure earned it, bro.
I appreciate that. When I look at wrestling, and I'm trying to, like, there's times I look at wrestling, I'm focused on telling the story, giving my opinion, blah blah blah. Then there are times where I don't care about who won, who. I just want to be entertained.
Yep.
And it's hard for me to cut off that damn, he messed that spot up, it's clear, or oh shit, he recovered, did that. Man, I know they didn't have that spot ready. Different things like that. So I try to stop doing that to just pure enjoy wrestling.
That's a hard switch to turn off, and it's like you were saying earlier, but whenever you're watching something and that, I guess, that inner critic or whatever goes off, you're like, oh man, they did it. you know.
I I a lot of times, and I tell people this all the time. I said, being a hardcore fan like myself, I get to that point where it's like, well, I know what's coming. I know what's coming. It's not that it is lazy or anything, but if I see it and I know it, I'm not excited.
Yep.
It's hard to get excited for that. I'm one of those fans. Oh, well, this gonna happen. This gonna happen. This gonna happen. My wife, when we watch, she always, baby, who's gonna win? Who's gonna win? Why they doing that? So I'm like breaking it down.
Yeah.
I love when I'm fooled. That means they are paying attention to our fan base of knowing so much and can fool us. That man, that pops me more than anything. Like, I didn't see that coming. I can't believe. Oh, that was great. They did a great. That type of atmosphere is what I love, because again,
with the long-term storytelling too, especially whenever you're like, oh, I know. I mean, it, especially, in a match and different stuff like that, that can change on the fly, because sometimes it changes so quick. Like, nobody really knows what just happened, but with a long-term story, and you're like, oh yeah, and then they get you. Oh yeah, it's great.
oh yeah. What is your goal when people come out to watch your promotion? What is the goal?
The goal is to have fun. I think the number one goal is, well, I guess number one is to be safe, but
Right.
sometimes safety goes second. But I mean, no matter what we're doing, I want it to be fun. Some of our shows tend to be a little heavier, which is in that environment, because like when we do a lot of our deathmatch stuff, it's at like a heavy metal festival, so that's the type of crowd that's going to enjoy that. When we're at the Rice Festival in a small town in Arkansas, with all the families and kids, we'll have a certain show for that. But like I want it to be fun, and I want it to be just straight up professional wrestling, like like just the basics, like we don't have to have all kinds of different big production things or this or that, but I think what I'm trying to express. Like, as a wrestling fan, I want there to be the all of the basics of a wrestling show. Even if there's nothing extraordinary, you're gonna get and like I said, like the buffet, you can have a lucha libre match, you can have a ladies match, you can have a old school wrestling, slow tag team match, like a little bit of everything. So, but mainly I want people to have fun and feel comfortable to enjoy whatever they want, because that's the thing. Whenever you pay whenever, that's how I saw it whenever I was younger. As a kid, I'm gonna go pay my $5 and I'm gonna give these wrestlers hell, and I'm gonna eat nachos, I'm gonna drink a Mountain Dew, and I'm gonna be high as a kite on this wrestling. And so that's part of it. Whenever you show up, you get your freedom, and I want the performers to give the crowd everything they got, and the crowd to give the performers everything they got, and everyone go home happy and safe. That's what I think it's all about.
I love when I can close my eyes and can't tell where I'm at, because I went last year. I went to see a buddy go wrestle,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like a 2.5, 3 hour ride for me. So I get there, I'm sitting in the crowd, and I'm tired. I really am. So
Oh
I'm
yeah.
nodding off to sleep. And it wasn't that the action wasn't good, it was just my body was tired.
Oh, for
So
sure.
I'm sitting there and I close my eyes again. Then I pick up listening to the crowd. I'm like, Jesus, they're loud.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, how the hell did I go? Did I fall asleep at a 20,000 seat arena? And I open my eyes and it's still just the 50, about 50 that couldn't have been no more than 60 people.
Mm-hmm.
But the energy they gave off, I
Oh,
was like, holy crap.
yeah.
So now that's my standard of telling if a show is good. If I close my eyes and I cannot tell what type of venue I'm in, you have a crowd. A couple of things. You have a hot crowd. The guys and girls are working their magic on them, and you're doing the right thing.
Yep. They got the connection. They got
Yes.
the connection. That's an awesome take on it. And I completely agree. And that's the fun thing, because it doesn't matter where you're at or what building it is. If you can feel that, you close your eyes and you feel that, like, and you hear the ring and you hear the people, it's all the same. And so, yeah, you nailed it. You nailed it.
I I was at this particular show, and the wrestler came out and his partners was with him and their manager. It was just a singles match, and the manager and his partner were working the crowd, messing with him. Where I was sitting, I probably had like 2 or 3 seats empty next to me, and the guy just comes sits down, and I'm sitting there like, okay, why in the hell is he sitting down?
Mm-hmm.
And he's messing, and he whispers something. He said something, and I couldn't make out what he said. But
No.
I know, but what I do know is, man, he's pissing me off for real. I want to punch him in the face. So he gets up, goes back to messing with other people in the crowd, and I'm pretty smart. I know the business, but that guy just really pissed me off.
Mm-hmm.
So afterwards, the match is over. I mean, the show is over. I'm standing around talking to people, and I see him come out, and he makes his way straight to me. So in my head, I'm like, maybe I'm gonna get this chance to hit him.
Yeah.
So he's like, hey, Professor Bird, man, I just wanted to tell you, I love you. You're great. And I listen to your stuff. It's real good. I'm a big fan.
Mm-hmm.
He said, I really wanted to talk to you, but I couldn't break kayfabe. He said, that's why I whispered to you to stay after the show. And I was like, oh, that's what you said. I said, man, I couldn't hear it. I know I couldn't make it out.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I said, brother, I got to tell you something. And I like, I know the business. He said, yeah. I said, I just got to really tell you, you pissed me off so bad, I wanted to punch you in the face. I said, that's how good of a heel you were.
Yeah.
Like, man, that's the best thing I've heard in a couple of weeks, man. I appreciate that. Coming from you, that means a lot.
So, he must have been carrying himself like a big jerk then.
Yes. So to both of us, we knew that he's doing his job.
Yep.
If I'm a fan and know the insides and out, and you still got the energy out of me to make me want to get violent with you, you're doing a hell of a job. And I love it. It is such a great feeling to see guys and girls giving their all and can make our emotions jump up and down. This one girl, I'll never forget it. She was walking by, she rolled out the ring, and a little kid behind me said something to her. And I guess she thought I said it. I don't know. She looked at me and like you could handle me anyway. it,
Yeah.
it it made me pop. It made me enjoy her because she was a heel, and boy,
Mhm.
she was hamming it up, and I loved every minute of
Oh, that's the best. That is the best. That's my favorite. That's my favorite.
and that's why I love to go to different shows and just sit back and see the magic of guys and girls and be like, oh, you've been doing this a while. You got us eating out your hand. Oh, okay. You got to be new. Oh man, you still kind of nervous, but you're working on things. Cool. I get such an emotional rush getting to see that, and then afterwards getting to talk to the wrestlers, and and it always blows my mind that people know me. And it's like, what? You're like, man, listen to your show all the time, man. You do such great work. Man, I appreciate you standing up for the indie guys. I'm like, wow, wow.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, and the thing is, it takes like everybody to make this whole thing go round,
Yeah,
and there's so many different jobs and positions and different things that can honestly make or break things for people. Like certain folks, like you may not even have much of a presence in the business, but simply because what you have, you may be able to help someone else with this or that, or someone's bigger, you can help someone lower. Like it's just, I believe there's a place for everybody in wrestling, no matter what you bring to the table. And like, as long as like you have the love for it, like yourself, and uh, just a little bit of creativity, it goes a long freaking way. Because like you're gonna go a lot further than, because some people are not in it because they like solely love it. They're, and unfortunately, and for folks that really do love it, there's a place for everybody, and I think every position is just as important. So
I tell people that wrestling is really the ultimate team sport.
yes.
You can be the greatest wrestler of all time, but it means nothing if you don't have you have a referee in there. It
Mm,
doesn't mean nothing if you don't have a great commentary team. It
yep.
means nothing if you don't have a good cameraman to be able to pick up the angles and stuff. It doesn't matter if you don't have a good concession stand worker who can get people what they want quickly so they can get back to enjoy it. So, and there's so many people that don't get that recognition that
Mm.
that's why I love to interview. If you're in wrestling, what do you do? Well, I don't do nothing. I just set up the chair. No, you do something. I
Oh,
want you on my show. I want you to tell your experience. People love to hear your experience, and it makes them respect what you do more, and they'll stop taking things for granted.
and you can really, the way I see it when it comes to like people at a wrestling show, like you know how it is when you meet another wrestling fan, especially outside of a wrestling show. Like it's all over with. Two wrestling fans get together, you just it's gonna be all night, especially two big wrestling nerds. I'm sure me and you could talk about wrestling till we starve to death.
Oh yeah,
You
and
make that connection, and like so, like if like you said, the guy thinks that he's just setting the chairs up, dude. If you're up here setting the chairs up for the wrestling show, you must care about wrestling quite a bit. So like you also love it. Well, who's your favorite wrestler? Like we're all like like it's all the same shit.
one I heard the story about Jimmy Hart. Even in as famous as Jimmy Hart is today, he still helps set up. And after the show, he helps tear down. Jimmy Hart has overly earned his right not to have to do that, but he does it and is happy to do it. That shows you how much he loves and cares about this business.
Yep. And when you love it that much, it's just second nature to take care of the things that has to be done so the show can go on. From setting up chairs to taking down chairs, from the beginning to the end.
Yes,
And
definitely.
you know what all it goes into it. You just you're going to take care of. You're going to leave it a better place than when you found it. That's the goal.
And it's funny you say that because I say that all the time. I'm blessed, and since I have been in it, I'm trying to make it better than how I found it and continue leaving a legacy for the fans after I'm gone. Hopefully my kids will love it and enjoy it.
Yep, I agree. I agree, and it's all about the next generation. And they say the whole be careful who you're how you treat people, because the same people on your way up you see on your way down. And like in wrestling, we all need each other, and I think that wrestling is completely timeless, and so it'll always be around in some way, shape, or form. So making sure people that actually love it continue their love for it, and are able to create within it. Yeah, that's what's up.
I want to thank you for not only coming on and doing my show. I want to thank you for your love and passion for the sport, everything you are doing currently to help these guys and girls live their dreams, but for everything you will do in the future for the love of the business. Again, promoters don't get a lot of a chance to talk about what they do, and some don't even want to. They're
Yep.
just happy to be able to do. But I think everybody needs to hear it every now and then. We appreciate you and we thank you for everything you're doing.
Man, I appreciate your time. I appreciate you sharing your love of wrestling, some of your stories and stuff like that. And that's what makes the world go around. And I'm just glad to be able to have a platform like Natural State Rasslin to help however many people out, however I can. So
You have an open invitation to the show. Anytime you want to come on, if
thank
you
you.
want to talk about a specific show, if you just want to just talk wrestling, you have that invitation open to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. And hey, if you ever need someone to fill a spot, or to talk about something, you got a topic or something, I'm always down. I appreciate you. I've had fun talking to you.
It, it's been amazing. I really enjoyed it.
Man, well, I appreciate it. And I know we're both probably ready to get some grub here soon. And did you say you got another interview?
Yep.
Well, you get to it. And listen, one thing I will plug, if anybody's in the market for some physical media, we have some Natural State Rasslin DVDs on sale and some VHS if you get down like that. So
Behind me, I got my my VCR and DVD player. I got tapes and everything. Oh
uh,
no, we don't stop.
I'm gonna have to mail you a tape then. You
Man, that's
send me
cool.
your address, I'll mail you one. You got VCR, yeah, for sure. I know you'll appreciate it.
I really do. And I definitely would get that to you. Thank you.
Okay, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, I'll let you get on to the next. I'm gonna get on to this pizza, and I'll see you down the road, and we'll definitely be doing something in the future.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Guys, girls, thank you so much for joining me around the campfire for another amazing interview. Again, if you get a chance to meet a promoter, just let them know how much you appreciate them. They would love to hear that, and they would appreciate knowing all their hard work is paying off. So make sure you do that. And before I always go, I always say this, and we'll never stop saying it. Please, please, please go support your local indie promotion. They work their ass off to entertain you and have great shows. So go and be supportive. With
Absolutely.
that being said, this is Professor Bear. This is a Bear's Thought. and we'll catch you around the campfire very, very soon. Y'all take care.